As a CTC Youth Leaders Group, we wanted to talk to community leaders about policies that impact youth in Jeffco. On March 10th of 2022, we hosted a policymakers forum with city, county, and state officials to discuss the following two policies. The first policy is called Out for Safe Spaces. Out for Safe Spaces is an initiative initially created by the LA LGBT Center, which the CTC recently got a grant to make a reality within Jeffco. Essentially, youth serving organizations in Jeffco agree to participate and their staff complete a designated training on a voluntary basis on issues LGBTQIA and BIPOC youth face. Then, trained staff members wear badges to communicate their intentional allyship to the youth they serve, and materials are posted to explain what the badges are. There were four main takeaways from policymakers' feedback at the forum. Firstly, policymakers are interested in collaborating and implementing Out for Safe Spaces programs within their organizations. Groups like Jeffco Libraries, the DA's office, Jedi groups, as well as Jeffco Open Spaces are eager to pilot the program and demonstrate its effectiveness to the community so that other youth serving or institutions like schools can eventually implement it. Secondly, we were also able to identify important next steps in piloting this program based off of the feedback we received. These included identifying which organizations work most closely with youth, working collaboratively to form relationships between entities, and including stories or testimonies on why this project is so important. Stephanie Shuley, a representative on the Jeffco Board of Education for District 3, said, "We are a large and diverse district, geographically and ideologically and politically. The divisiveness has escalated recently. The persuasiveness of stories combined with data is going to be extraordinarily important to create allies. We will get an equal number of letters for people that are against this idea, and we will get in support of it. That public voice will help us figure out how to share and evaluate those voices." Thirdly, policymakers spoke to the fact that it's important for us to hone in on what the city's role is in making spaces safer for LGBTQIA identifying youth. Mayor Laura Weinberg of Golden said, "As a city, we don't have a lot of programs for teens specifically. Many are for younger kids, or we partner with organizations to offer those programs. However, we do have criteria for organizations that we partner with. There is some ability to question and ask about their training before using them. Schools are the main point where teens are involved and would be a great place to have this conversation. We're interested in discussing partnerships and don't know how teens would feel interacting with all city organizations like the police or the fire department in the same way." Lastly, policymakers said that finding out what kind of training is needed and where or how that need is determined are both crucial aspects to figure out before launching the Out for Safe Spaces program. Uh, Mayor Laura Weinberg said, "Rolling this out in conjunction with many organizations will help broaden the message of the importance of doing this. It is for the whole community." And everyone agreed that improving countywide LGBTQIA+ related communication was part of the next step.
On to prohibitions against hosting underage substance misuse. Last year, a group of youth spent 6 months researching liability laws around substance abuse at house parties. They concluded that the current laws in place, such as minor possession and contributing to the delinquency of a minor, have not been effective in reducing substance misuse, since the laws are difficult for officers to prove and are not commonly in practice. The youth proposed prohibition laws in Jeffco, which would hold individuals accountable for underage drinking that occurs on the homeowner or landlord's property by issuing administrative citations. The goal is to encourage property owners to actively prevent or control house parties, therefore reducing substance abuse. During the forum, much like with Out for Safe Spaces, we received main points derived from attendee feedback, which will be closely regarded when taking our next steps. Main point 1. The issue needs better community visibility in order to make it more appealing as a policy. Mayor Weinberg, Stephanie Schooley, and Sergeant Salentine advocated for how substance misuse at parties is not discussed until after a larger tragedy occurs. Sergeant Alderete stressed the fentanyl epidemic as a main substance being misused amongst youth, and Councilor Mayotte Guerrero mentioned that including more data when educating would help inform the general public. Main point 2. Who to reach with this policy. Sergeant Salentine advocated for PTAs on the basis that they would help spark conversation around this policy. This would mean reaching out to youth through caregivers and guardians. Mayor Weinberg also stressed bringing older generations into the conversation. In addition, Sundery proposed bringing youth into the process. Our next steps for prohibitions would be educational campaigns via videos to increase prohibition awareness for Jefferson as a community. Thank you to all of us who attended our forum and gave us your advice.